It is very important to be able to address an individual bit of a word in a PLC. So here in Ignition, in my tag browser, I have two tags from my ControlLogix PLC and my MicroLogix PLC. And I went and browsed for those tags. Well, I'm bringing back the entire word here. So certainly on a screen, I can view individual bits. That's not a problem. The problem happens when I want to write a value to a specific bit of a word. And that, if I leave it as an integer here, I'd have to somehow mask out that write and hope that only that one bit is what I'm changing here when I wrote that down to the PLC. So with Ignition, you have to create a separate tag for every bit you want to write down to. So it's really easy to actually address a bit. All you got to do is on a tag is double click on it to edit it, and you can change the OPC item path. With all of Ignition's drivers, you can add an extra piece of information at the end of the item path to address one of the bits. So here on my ControlLogix PLC, I'm referencing this level PV. I can put a .1 at the end to reference the second bit of that word. As soon as I do that, I need to go up here to my data type and set that to a Boolean. So now everything's correct. If I go and press OK, I'll see that it's now a Boolean, and it will toggle as that value is changing in the PLC. So now I'm looking at just one bit of that word for the ControlLogix. On the MicroLogix here, this is the overall integer word. This time I'm going to copy and I'm going to paste that tag, so I have two of them. And the second one's going to be the bit address. So I'm going to go ahead and double click on the second one, go and change this to a .0 to reference the first bit of that word, make it a Boolean here. So as soon as I do that, you'll see that that is now true, of course, because it's a 5, so that first bit is high. If I now go in here and uncheck this, I'm going to basically write a 0 to it, I will see that the MicroLogix, the original raw value, is now 4. So if I set it, it's going to go back to 5. And same thing happens if I was to change the overall integer word, and I change this, let's say, to a 9, then I could possibly see this toggle. So if I now set it to a 10, I would see it go off there. So it is possible to address individual words here, and it's really important when writing down. Now, some of the PLCs actually support getting down to the bit level from the browse. So if I go and browse my PLCs, the MicroLogix in particular, if I go to any tag that has bits inside of it, I can expand that tag to see all the individual bits, and I can drag those into Ignition. So that's all it's to basically looking at individual bits.